Charlie Dickens, chapter 57, entitled Blackpool. Charlie was so exhausted and excited that as soon as he lay on his bed, he was asleep. He didn't have the strength to try on his pajamas. Mary woke to the sounds of the birds twittering, and she was full of energy. Renewed energy as she busied around the house and went from one room to the next like a determined bee. Charlie dressed quickly and he brushed his teeth too quickly. He was too excited to concentrate on anything. He was overexcited to be going to Blackpool. He went to the kitchen, but his mum wasn't there, and he could hear a lot of clattering outside. So he decided to follow the noise. There was a bucket and spade on the grass and a small bike. A wheel passed just over his head, and he ducked just in time. Mum was throwing things left, right, and centre from the garage. It was a place of mystery where Charlie had, or not anyone, had ventured for years. His mum was rummaging through boxes as high as the ceiling, but what she was searching for, he had no idea. Eureka, I found it, she exclaimed as she held up a small book, her face showing the reverence as if it was the Holy Bible. What's that? Said Charlie, looking puzzled. It's a driving license, said Mary, beaming with pride. But we don't have a car, said Charlie, looking even more confused. Oh, yes, we do, said Mary, laughing. It's under all of these boxes. Charlie got stuck right in as he couldn't wait to see what type of car was under the mountain of boxes, bugs, plant pots, and whatnot. Eventually, after a lot of puffing and huffing and fetching and carrying, Charlie saw a flash of red and he knew that it could only be one thing. There was a vehicle there. It wasn't just his mum's imagination. I've seen it too, Mary said, and she ran to grab more and more boxes. It was hard work, but they were determined to be successful. After a few more boxes and plants had been moved, finally they could see the dirty windscreen, even though it was covered in dust. Mary eased herself down the side of the vehicle, and she opened the car door excitedly and squeezed in. And then she surprised Charlie by starting the engine, which coughed and spluttered like a heavy smoker, and then it purred into life like a contented cat. We're going to Blackpool, his mum shrieked, slightly out of character, and Charlie pushed some more odds and sods out of the way, and he climbed into the passenger seat, bubbling with excitement. Full steam ahead, shouted Charlie in his excitement, and the car rattled and jerked forward, as if it was unsure of where to go, like a bull in a maze. Then they set off down the lane without shutting the gate or locking the front door. They were too excited for trivial matters. Unfortunately, there was little in the tank, and the first stop that they would be making was to the petrol station. It was a short drive away. As they ran down the familiar nondescript streets, Charlie came back to dull reality. What about my friend Tinker? He said, feeling embarrassed. He should have been waiting for me. When they got to the usual spot, they waited for 10 minutes, but in their excitement, it seemed to go on forever. Maybe he's ill. He's never usually late, said Charlie, and he felt sad knowing that they would have to leave him behind.